Yo, yo. Shalom, shalom, Divine. How you doing? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys could see my screen too. If you guys could see the chart in specific. Shalom, shalom. You can see Discord. Damn. Still technical difficulties. This is about 3 years technical difficulties with my streams. Hilarious. Alright, now it should be good, I think. Yep. Alright. I'm doing good, brother. How you doing? Thank you for asking. I know. I appreciate you coming, bro. Oh my god, you guys are making me nervous. I'm sweating. Golly. All right, so I like to do these little like plan streams when I really don't know what the fuck's going on. It's okay not to know what's going on sometimes, you know? Especially like we did our business down here. Uh, if you're not positioned from here for long, even on the push up and the break here, just no man's land really. You don't want to be too aggressive, obviously. This pop was pretty aggressive. 90.5, 90.6 was that level that we were shorting, right? Our position. That was the level to long, clearly. Um, and it happened quick. I kind of figured it was going to do something like that if it was going to go up. But that's just the nature of the game. Can't really be mad at it. Just got to be patient when those things happen so you don't just overwhelm yourself with trades. Like yesterday, I was long sold, closed it, break even, then re-entered before I went to sleep, took a loss. Generally, time for me to be patient if things aren't going, my way right away, and that's fine. It's fine. So yeah, let's do some business here for a second, and I got to do something quick. So I'm not gonna be here long. And I thought, what best way to do it than to see you guys? Damn, I'm sweating. You guys made me nervous. All right, so let's begin with BTC. Take a look at this chart. Nah, I don't think we're gonna print right this second, but these plans might print. That's the whole point of them. I see a lot of good levels to test. We had a pretty explosive move up, so you got to keep that into account. Alts are gonna naturally be a little bit harder to gauge here because of the move we had on BTC was pretty explosive. So in general, alts are gonna be pretty hard to read. Unless you're looking at stronger ones like Sui holding $3 like nothing is pretty impressive. I thought we were gonna at least get 285, couldn't even get that. 288, 289. Really explosive move for this coin, so definitely gonna want to look at that. I'm not really looking at too much alts as you can see. I don't even have too many alts on my playlist right now. I literally only have Fartcoin, Sui, Sol, ETH. Not much going on here for me. First time I saw your trade stopped out. Nah, we all take losses, bro. I had a pretty weird start to the year, but then I like to do that. I like to not take too many losses. That's what I pride myself on. So, like I said, when I take a loss or two, I should probably just chill for a second. But that is part of the game. So again, let's start taking a look at BTC. So what I like to do is I like to look at like the monthly, even though I've already looked at the monthly here. You got to remind yourself what's going on in the higher time frame. A lot of people neglect to do that. So familiarize yourself with the higher time frame, and then everything else comes a lot easier, especially when you start to play in the middle. Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing working. So it goes. And then I'll take a look at Sui, Sol, ETH, Total 2, BTCD, maybe SPX. I don't really care. Look at that right now. Maybe Trump Coin, and then a few others that you guys want me to take a look at. We'll set some limits for 3 coins that I want to play. Probably just ETH, Sol, and BTC because I really care less about the left. All right, perfect. I'll take a look at Tao. I got you, bro. Trading is bugging. Clean up your charts, guys. Clean up your charts. It's important to clean up your charts. Yeah, I crack myself up sometimes, guys. Bro, I want to put 10K into autos. What do you think about the one? Man, I'll take a look at some things on chain really quick. Not yet. I'll take a look at some things on chain after this. Uh, Autos at these levels, bro, it's really low. And if we're gonna pump some charts, that has to be like one that's got to pump super hard. Um, Not super hard, I should say. I should say to make good returns, it doesn't have to pump super hard. That's what I meant to say. But on chain right now, I really don't have too much conviction in a lot of things, guys. I'll be honest. Like, I'm curious to see what is going to happen with on chain in the next couple months or so, but I'm not confident in anything right now. I'm holding Desync, a big bag of it. I'm holding Pinlink. Um, I have a couple other bags, but even on Desync, I'm pretty pissed how I played that. I fucking waited so long for a pump back up and it went to all time high twice. And I round tripped like a 5x like twice. So I have conviction in desync. I like it. I hold a big bag, like a really big bag. So I'm good with that one. And a couple others. I tried to minimize my bets on the move up. I just whenever I was up on chain, I started securing clips a little bit. Like a little clip here, a little clip there of like some bags I was up pretty big on. Um, Cleaned up the smaller bags I went underwater on the way down, and now I'm pretty uh pretty happy with what I'm in, regardless if it goes up or down. So on the monthly for BTC, what I like is how the monthly looks. The monthly looks amazing. Previous to this monthly rejection that we had here in February, we were looking to print in a nice demand candle here, which was what I was looking at the other day before we had that pop up where we were shorting. This was the level to reclaim for me. And the reason we got a nice pump off that level, lower time frame, I should say. I got two levels I was looking at. So one was that monthly level right here. This monthly low is pretty strong. And if we come down to retest it, I'd want to see the reaction around 90.5. I had my limit at 90.6 to 90.4, but I canceled it because I'm not super comfortable with keeping a limit there. I do like the 88.5 level a lot more. I know John's looking at that level. That level I wanted previous to this pop up. We never got it. And that's okay. We'll see what happens on the next go around. But just to show you what like these levels matter, momentum was towards the upside the last few days, obviously. I was looking to short right here. It ended up just holding for a good flip up. We held that monthly level, which I think in turn matched up with the yearly open, if I'm not mistaken. Not quite sure about that though. Let's see where the yearly open. With the yearly open around Jan 90.5. Was that the yearly open? Yeah, it was the yearly open. Holy shit. So I guess we could just keep the yearly open on for now. Doesn't make sense not to keep it. I'll put these levels up as well just for a second. I don't want to these up the whole time. Wow. So yeah, yearly open was tested right there. Okay, so I guess it didn't flip the yearly open. So 90.5, 90.6 level. Like we could look at that for a scalp bounce. I wouldn't be too aggressive judging by longs around that level. They were pretty hesitant. So in my opinion, we should look to take them out. And I'm talking about people down here. Just it was a little bit uneasy to take longs down here. Let's call a spade a spade. So in my opinion, maybe we'll chop around the yearly open. Maybe printing that lower high. I think we could have a good chance at a deviation, man. That Monday high play would be so nice. Uh, don't know if it happens in there, but there's some demand here as well. Previous level of consolidation, test that, deviate below this monthly level, this monthly low, reject off the yearly open, maybe even deviate above the yearly open. I know there's liquidity over here, and there's some liquidity over here. And for people that don't know where to judge liquidity, I'm using CoinGlass right now. I used to use HighBlock. They took away my membership, so now I'm just using CoinGlass. You can see there's some levels up here. I don't know why it's not. There it is. Taking forever to load. All right, screw CoinGlass, I guess. We're getting rugged by CoinGlass. Okay. So we just pushed up towards the liquidity that was here intraday. Oh no, there it is. So we're pushing up towards the liquidity intraday. That's that lower high. I mean, standard technical analysis, lower high, push down lower, right? So yearly open is in line with where liquidity is. People are looking to short yearly open right now. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out that analysis. Lower high. Um, damn, bro, why is my shit so laggy right now? Sorry, I don't know what's going on with this fucking. There it is. There's some more liquidity right above it at around 95-ish, like 94.6. 94.7 is a good level to short or to look for, like, take profit on these longs if you're looking to play intraday here. You got the lower high at 93.6, then you got the highs at 94.3, 95.3, I should say, which would be a nice spike to take out some shorts that are looking for a lower high. Like around here would be that level of liquidity. So these are the two levels I'm looking at intraday. I would put alerts for that if you're not looking at charts today. So that's what I'm going to do. Right here, I'll put an alert at the high. I don't really need an alert at yearly open. But I'll put an alert at the high. I'll put an alert down here at 90.5, just so I know these levels are tapping. These are the only two levels I'll have alerts for. That's why I cleaned it before. And this is what I see, lower time frame. Judging by the higher time frame, there's not much else to go off of. The one day is looking to put in, like it's looking to put in a hammer above the yearly open, maybe if it starts to close green. That would be super bullish. That would mean it. I would have to push up to 95 too. Not sure if it does that right away. I'd assume we just chop around for a little bit until the move happens. Maybe into the weekend. So again, like I said, these are my two reactions that I'm gonna look for, just judging by the chart right now. You could look for a scalp bounce over here. That's why I have an alert there, but I wouldn't even put a limit down there. I would put a limit more convincingly down here. Uh, had a beautiful snipe on ETH. Sold it for like pennies on the dollar looking at today's price action. But you could see these reclaims of these trend lines matter for like the momentum push upwards. As you can see, like if you were able to draw this trend line and figure out a bias and connect it with momentum, you were able to catch a good flip upwards here on this closure. So they do mean something. They're just not nonsense. I know people might draw trends everywhere. I tend to just draw them when it means something. Uh, Even on the lower time frame, I think they do mean something. Right now, we're getting a push up because of some news about, what was the recent news? Push price up here. Fidelity, Bitcoin supply and exchanges is dropping due to public company purchases. So that pushed the price up slightly here. For BTC, in turn, pushing price up for alts. SOL pushing up higher than most. SUI much more bullish than most. Fartcoin still holding nicely. So let's take a look at ETH right here. Yeah, just did we sweep these highs on BTC too? Did we push equal highs up here? Okay, we didn't even take the highs up here. So there's definitely a possibility we do that first. But I still want to see like 89.9, maybe even around the 90K level would be super, super good. Just like this, it's one. We haven't had a time where we just went up only, and it would be the right thing to do here, right? Leave a lot of people sidelined here. That being said, on ETH, we have nice 4-hour demand down by 1690. I don't think that level holds on the first go. Maybe for a scalp up to the structure break if we start going lower, but we are holding right now. Like you could call this a deviation as well. I don't know how likely this is to hold. You got to imagine like people are entering along here if they're not in a position already. They're stop below the low. People are entering here short, stop above the high. So really, it's anyone's guess here where price is going to go immediately. We also have supply here on the lower time frame. So with that lower high opinion on BTC, if it were to hit, this would go in line with ETH. So there's still a chance we pop up here, giving longs here with their stop below the lows. I guess a 1-to-1 risk to return, which isn't terrible. I mean, especially right here if you're just scalping. I wouldn't really look to target highs here on anything. like right now, unless you're in from this level, you could already move your stop ups and stuff. This was a level of demand that I'd want to see hold. Well, again, we deviated below there. So for ETH, I like right down to this demand here. I know that's on the lower time frame, but I like that better. I like around 1630 to 1616. I think there's a chance that ETH could push through the demand it printed. Maybe test that supply. Look to break down a little bit. Test it. Maybe put in another lower high before going back down. And then turn up next week with another leg up. I mean, this would be a gift for continuation. I don't know how likely price is to lag this long after we just had that previous impulsive move upwards, but it would be nice. So I placed a limit for it. Kind of wishful thinking, in my opinion, right now, but we'll see. Especially since we haven't had any significant pullbacks. It's important to just be patient. Like, it's very important to be patient here. The moment we get a lick wipe, you don't want to get caught in it. I thought it happened last night, by the way. I got caught, but then I looked at price and I was like, okay, just chopping around. Chopping, chopping, chopping. So for Sol, we caught nice moves on Sol. A lot of really fucking nice moves on it. I did not expect this to just be a grinding uptrend on it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this level would have been tested eventually, but we caught some very nice moves right here. If you guys remember last week when I was on vacation, we caught the sick deviation below with the flip up. That was fucking phenomenal. I took all my profit right here, and I thought we would retest right here, but we never did. So right now for Sol, I'm looking for. I mean, right now I'd want that 153 level, but since we front ran it already, I'd probably want a little bit lower, like 140, 1. I'd still like that. Sweep these flat candle lows and continue up. I'm still going to be looking at 143.50. See how that level reacts. Keep a little bit of a loose stop. I'd want my stop realistically to be below 136. So maybe even look to bid lower, like 140.20. Because I like those numbers. Like, makes sense. Especially judging by where we want to flip here. Flip this level on Sol for me is a flip back to 175. At least take out that flat candle high at 179 right here. This is a very weird reaction. We had this support bounce up to resistance, and we clearly reclaimed it, right? Judging by this absurd up grind here that we're having, which is nice. So hopefully we get some retests here soon because I do think that we're going to push back up to 180 on Sol. We are looking to close these gaps, and judging by like Sui, look, we look to close a sick gap. Judging by previous strength on Sui, stronger than everything. Sui closed the gap a lot quicker. Super, super bullish as well. Like this reaction is super bullish for Sui. I've been looking at this coin forever. Missed my limit right here by a couple cents. I absolutely exploded. I was even looking at the breakout, but didn't want to jump in too aggressively, and aggressive wins sometimes. I would say 285 is a good bid on Sui. I don't know how likely are to get that bid. That's where I was waiting last night. 9.8%. I mean, is it likely? I don't know. I'll chart Ondo for you. I got you, bro. I'm just looking at my top coins here that I look at like every day, and I'll take a look at your guys' coins. So just bear with me. I haven't really looked at charts today. I hope this helping. Is this helping, guys? If it's not, let me know. If you guys want me to do something else, let me know. This is just kind of what I do. I don't know if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know and I'll explain a little bit more what I do here. But really, I want to just connect candles now. Like the monthly candle is 7 days away from closing, 6 days and 10 hours away. We're back up to the previous monthly high of last month on Sui. So, you know, I wouldn't suggest entering along here because you're almost guaranteed a reaction here. Is it gonna reject? Maybe not. It might even move slightly higher than that. It might move to 348 before it rejects. Might move to 320. Anywhere around that level. But we are retesting yesterday's monthly high. It's coming up. Haven't retested it yet, but it is coming up. We have flipped that support and looking to hold. If we begin to, let's say, flip that high, where is that high at? 325. So I even put that for reference. That's a monthly high right there. Monthly high in red. Perfect. So we got to take these highs out. These highs out. So there's significant highs coming up for Sui. I definitely wouldn't be too aggressive here. This was already the aggressive entry. Super aggressive. Maybe we get like a deviation here. Set up form for 285 so we can flip long. I'm not going to look to short this. Just eyeing out maybe some possibilities here. If we don't get the high sweep first, then I would look to enter 302 again from this morning. But if BTC is going to go to 88, I think this is just a good bid for Sui. This is an aggressive bid at 385, but I think this is a good bid nonetheless. So I'm not super confident placing a limit for it, but I am going to watch it. Very, very key. Whenever these coins are flipping support levels, like these tight higher lows keep holding. So keep your eyes on these tight higher lows. That means something, especially when structures towards the upside. Like this is super aggressive, but it's these aggressive holds matter because people aren't anybody looking to short this is just gonna get burnt quickly. So you can easily put your invalidations like below the last low is easy invalidation for these levels. And people looking to short here are just putting their invalidations right here to get blown out quick. Blown out quick. So really what I try to do in these consolidation levels, if I'm not already positioned, like I would not look to enter here. I would just look to where the price is going to target first. So if you're looking to take longs here, your invalidation has to be here because we have to target a specific high first. And you just move your stops up and you pray for the next high to get taken or the next low to get taken. Or you be patient for those levels lower or higher. There's no point to enter here if you weren't looking to enter here. At least the way like my strategy says. So take a look at Fart Coin as well. Yo, what's up, Mouse? I'll take a look at Ondo. I'll take a look at AVAX. I'll take a look at a few things you guys want me to take a look at. Damn, man. I really wish I had any long Sol yesterday. Would have made me want to take a long this morning. Can it be argued BTC has put an SFP on the weekly with yesterday's close? It couldn't have put on a SFP on the weekly because the weekly hasn't closed yet. So let's see what you're saying though. Let's make it make sense. So the weekly has swept. Okay. So I actually haven't looked at the weekly. I'm glad you pointed that out. So the weekly has a significant level of supply. The problem is this supply tested so quickly and it hasn't even rejected yet. So it's trying to flip back into this level as well. It's directly below it. That's where we're rejecting right now. So if price were to continue upwards, 96,000 would be that next level. We would test, in my opinion, the bottom end of that closure of that Darth Maul candle from this week in February. This would retest first if it begins to flip up. So what I would do intraday if you're playing is I would draw this level. I would keep your eyes on this low right here. And I would see if price begins to close these little hourlies like it tried to do yesterday. If it tries to do it again. We're retesting the hourly supply now intraday. See, we broke lower time frame trend, I think. Yeah, definitely broke lower time frame trend. Retested, and now we're continuing upwards. These are slow grinds up. So these ones I don't necessarily like to trust that much. Um, if you begin to see like something you like on the lower time frame, then maybe you could enter along here with your stop below here. But that just gets very risky. Um, I think alts should be moving more here than BTC if BTC wants to chop around a little bit. So would keep your eyes on that as well. Especially if ETH wants to get above 1800 again. Good morning, Mark. How you doing? 5 pages got filled. Continue, please. Oh, good. What's up, trader? How you doing? Yeah, so like I was saying to answer your question, the weekly hasn't SFP'd because it hasn't closed the weekly yet, but it has taken this high from the beginning of March, and there's 3 days and 10 hours left. We're closer to the highs than the lows. I'm not gonna bet on an SFP here, hence why I don't want to short. If you're looking to short here, you get such an easy invalidation above this high. That's a $1,500 move, and you go to target 90,500. That's not a bad risk to return, but it's more risky because we're more likely to take that high out before going down here to retest, in my opinion. Uh, and that's how you have to think in these levels, right? If you're not in from a high or a low, you got to think this way because it's the only thing that makes sense when positioning. Are we more likely to take out the high first, then go to the low that I'm targeting? If you think you're more likely to target that high first, that's your invalidation. You're out of that play. There's no reason to take that play if you think your invalidation is going to hit first. If that's what you think, you don't take it. And you shouldn't even take a long for that level either because the lower time frame invalidations do not make sense either when you're playing something loose like this, when you're not loose like this, but when you're playing something tight like this on the short side towards resistance, it doesn't make sense to take a long here because your invalidation would have to be towards where you're targeting. If you catch my drift a little bit, right? If you're taking a lower time frame play here, you subject yourself to, let's say you want to take a tight stop position here because you want to target the high you think to take first. This is more likely to target than this. So you really just end up chopping yourself first. And that's not anything you want to do. Not anything I like to do. So I like your analysis, but we definitely have to wait a couple days to see if an SFP is gonna confirm. And even if the SFP confirms, we've already reclaimed the big level. So the SFP doesn't necessarily have to mean we're gonna go down. It just might mean we're gonna reject first before going up higher. And that's what I think is likely is gonna happen from the 96 level back down to a move back up. That would be nice. That would be a really good opportunity. Is it going to happen first from here and then give us a chance to move back up here? Or is it going to move to 96 and then reject off that? I mean, like structural wise, things look bullish. So I'd want 88,500 to hold. I like that level again. I really don't even want to bid 90,006 to 90,004. Let's take a look at Fartcoin. Big Dilio's in the fucking house, baby. So for Fartcoin, we are in a nice pocket of demand right now, but we're at the top end. So, man, these flat fucking candles have been so tricky in the last couple months, man. I've seen so many flat candles hold for higher. Oh man, this was such a good bid here. Such a good, like just a naturally good, super deep bid of demand. Almost tested the bottom end on the 4 hour, and it held with a flat candle. I thought that was gonna sweep a little bit. That's why I didn't long that. I didn't long anything today because I took that L on Sol. To be honest, I hate giving trades too much when I don't know exactly what's going on and I don't have a good feel. But also, I'm underwater and I took a loss. That just never is a recipe for success for me. Um, okay, so we definitely got something cooking here on Fartcoin. I would keep your eyes on Fartcoin. We're in 4 hour demand right now. Jesus, I really like this. So I'd want to definitely see how it reacts around this daily open. We're on the daily open. You want to reclaim the daily open, and then if it starts to poke up, either this is going to trap longs or it's going to give a big lick wipe for the highs up here. Because again, like you want to look what's happening on the higher time frame. The higher time frame for Fartcoin on the daily, and I'm not talking macro, I'm talking higher time frame. The 1 day looks fire. Like on Sol, I thought the 4 hour didn't look top. And I guess it was for now, but I still don't think it looks that bad. The 1 day for Fartcoin doesn't look topped. Sure, 120 is a long way away from 1.8. We retested 103. We might retest a little bit lower before going higher, but looks all right. It doesn't look like a super top. 3 day we are retesting supply, so you always definitely want to keep account to where we're trading now. But these are loose levels of supply from the previous levels. There's a chance we go to 129. There's a chance we go back to 115. There's a chance we go back to I really wanted around 98 cents. I think I had a fart coin limit for 98 cents. I'm going to play that again. But I canceled it for the time being just because I wanted to do some analysis here. And also, if we begin to push up, we got supply here on the 4 hour. And if we're tuning in with our analysis we've already made on BTC, where we either have a lower high at around 94, 93.6, which already retested just now, I think, right? Did that retest? Not just yet, but coming close to it. And that's around the 1 day open where some alts are already trading around, like Fartcoin, right? So if BTC rejects without even testing the daily open, you gotta imagine like if we're gonna hold tight, alts can maybe give room to breathe. If we're gonna push up for BTC, then in turn you gotta see what's happening with everything else. BTCD is kind of chopping around. Total 2 flipped up 1 trillion super aggressively. It gave a pullback when I called for it, but it held higher than where I anticipated. So I never really got aggressive long entries, but I definitely capitalized on a few of them, scalp wise. But when I look from a macro perspective on total two, I love where we held. I absolutely love where we held. We held right where we were supposed to. We retested a big trend from the last move up. And when you look at trends, there's not much to overcomplicate. When a trend makes sense, like it just makes sense. Broke out, retested. Just gave a deep retest. A good sweep, big retest. That's about it. Now we're at resistance for total two. So we begin to flip up 1.03. You could target 1.11. That's where another high is. And another significant level of rejection. And that's what I would do for alts. We're above 102 trillion. 1 trillion is psychological. So we're hovering right above. I think we tested it in hell today perfectly, beautifully, into the top end of demand. So these demand levels are still forming good. But the one thing that I want to show you guys is like, it's not just about blindly longing like these levels for total two. It's about seeing what's strong and what's going to react heavy around these levels. And then you can blindly long certain alts like Sui around this test. I mean, did you really expect total two to get a super heavy rejection or a super good reaction at 1 trillion? Yeah, it's psychological. It was the top end of demand as well, but it front ran that demand level. So even if I was looking at the chart, I'd maybe want a little bit lower too. I wouldn't have aggressively long there either. Um, but these are things you could look at if you're unsure on the other coins like Sui. Like I'm unsure where to long Sui. If you just tied in total two with this drop on the last 4 hour low, and I don't want to take up too much time, guys. I know Trader DB's got to hop on here soon. I don't want to take much of my boy's time. But any charts you guys want me to look at, I hope this makes sense. We made some plans, didn't make as much as I want to. Let me write down some things really quick though. I'd want to place these limits. So for BTC in general, I'm gonna look for. Damn, I really hate to not bid while I'm gone because I feel like 90.6 could be good. But 90.6, morning plans. I'll come back later and do another stream tonight or afternoon. So if anybody's on, they want to hop on me, you're more than welcome. Because I don't really think probably gonna do much while I'm gone. Hopefully not. But 90.6, 90.4 is my scalp level. So we'll go low conviction. And I'm gonna put all this in my corner. That's why I'm writing it down right now. I'd say look for alts at around 90.6 to 90.4 because I think alts will give you like 3, 4, 5% on that bounce if we do get there. Again, I'm not super convicted in this. That's why I'm not shorting. If I was super convicted in that, I would be shorting. You could also do everything I'm doing here with the blocks on the lower time frame. Make it make sense when you're doing it on lower time frame. Use 4 hours. Like this 4 hour is proving as a good deviation. And if you guys follow Aztecs, right? If you follow Aztecs setups that he usually does, like these, that's a general good setup to follow along on these bullish moves up, right? This is a good one to even I keep this a little bit. So like I'll even open this in my browser. It's a good thing and it's a good reference to look at when you're I guess I can't even open it. But either way, like this is that deviation setup on BTC forming right now. So if you think that's a positive setup, you take along with your validation below low at 91.6. If you don't think we're going to go lower, but that's what's happening right now. Alts are reacting as if BTC wants to flip, but they're also rejecting, not giving significant moves. But most alts are doing this, even like ETH. Like if ETH were to want to reclaim this and continue back upward, that would be a successful setup, right? As so well as trying to already do that and already did it more explosively. That's a good setup. It just got to make sense, more or less. But like I was saying before, on Sui compared to Total 2, if you're unsure we're at resistance for Total 2, look at. I appreciate that, Yasin. This was super good info. It is impossible to have this market recap as a regular event. I see Muzz has it and others. I don't see events here. I appreciate that, bro. I'm glad you get something out of it. I'm doing a risk management course for you guys as well right now. It's almost done. I'm going to be teaching my levels in there as well. So you are going to like that and my thought process when it comes to these type of things. Because a lot of the ways I trade is, unfortunately, right now, like if I'm super patient, I guarantee you I could catch a 6 swing. But I like to trade in the middle when I'm not in from lows or highs. And by doing that, you just miss on bigger moves. And I'm okay with that. But you got to make sure you understand the levels, make sure you understand certain reactions, make sure you understand like what's going on intraday a little bit. And that all comes with repetitions. But we retested this low at 1 trillion. So all you have to do is have your alert. And this is what I do a lot in bull runs and super aggressive trends is I'll put alerts at specific key levels for Total 2. And I'll just blindly long specific alts at those levels, like Sui on the last 4-hour candle. That was good conviction to enter on a 3-tap for this, right? Because when you're looking at a 3-tap like this, you're saying, okay, all right, maybe that's going to be a little bit weaker, but Total 2 is also retesting 1 trillion. Okay, let me long this with easy invalidation below the lows, assuming that we're at least going to take out the highs or retest that high, and then I'll move my stop up when it gets to that high. That's how I like to trade. That's how I trade these levels. Wow. Sui's retesting 325 like that. That's crazy. What up, JD, my boy? Good to see you, bro. Have a nice day, Nody. I'm not hopping off just yet. I'm gonna hop off in the next couple minutes though, just because DB's waiting. Oh, he is, and I don't want to take too long. 326. You guys could look at that reaction I showed you for Sui. See if it deviates and loses momentum and looks for a flip down. That would be a good opportunity to maybe take a scalp short. Again, it's 10% up on day, so do you really want to? Maybe not. Maybe look for a push up to 339. That should be a sweet spot right there. So I'll take a look at this later and see what happens. And we could look at it together. But maybe we get like a lower high up here once it pushes up. Or we just reject from here. But in general, this is where I'm looking. I hope that makes sense with, combining our confluences around these levels. So like when we're looking at Total 2 here. Yeah, that's crazy. It just popped so hard for us. Like, I mean, so hard while we were on stream. 1.01 trillion sweep that low is what I would want to see. So I'm going to put an alert there, and I'm going to put alert at 1.03 for Total 2. Not 1.03, sorry. Wait. Is it down here? What the fuck? Huh? That is so fucking weird. Why is my resistance higher than where my alert is? What the fuck? This shit's bugging. Bugging. But anyway. Put my alert there. I like this low sweep right here. I like this. Oh, this shit right here. That's what. Okay. Um, okay, so we're retesting the daily open on Total 2 as well. Place to be cautious, guys. I wouldn't risk this one personally. Um, although Soul easy invalidations on some of these coins, man. But you're really just targeting like an open flip back up to some licks. These highs are gonna react, in my opinion, for a lot of these coins. And Sui's a good like telling factor here. I don't think most coins are gonna perform like Sui here. So be careful. Don't chop yourself up. Have yourself a level for BTC to retest and abide by those when alts come to them to those levels. If we start to flip back up here though, it could get positive. Let's say we go back up to the 90.6 level where liquidity lies. We push up there. We come down here. If you see reason along here for another push back up, you could put like your invalidation below this box at 92.6. And that's a good risk to return. You don't long here with your stop here because there's a chance we just reject here, sweep this, and then flip back up. You could look for a deviation here on a lower time frame with your invalidation here or a more safe one down at 91.6. But again, that comes with the natural risk we talked about in the beginning of the stream. So time also with that, Sui's at 90. Oh my god, we should just fucking long that shit on stream, guys. What are we doing here? That was crazy. What a fucking pump. What a fucking pump on Sui. Is there news? All right. Anyway, 90.6 to 90.7 is our scalp level on BTC. Sui, we really just want a long demand down here again on 30-minute, I would say. 4 hours probably pretty explosive. That's 4-hour demand. We look to long back here. So 3.4, 3.420. I guess we'll just use that as a meme level. 3.0420 would be my scalp bid on Sui. Unfortunate that we didn't long that right there. That was pretty pussy of me. Even Sol too, like wow. Damn, man. It's the problem. The problem here. I thought we were gonna go up. I thought we were gonna go up last night, and we just deviated first. This is a good setup right here for Sol. Such a good fucking snipe. Jesus. That's where I should be long. I tried long and slightly lower, got aggressive. It got aggressive. See what EBTC is doing here. Okay, so Ultra definitely, you know, they're definitely in a level where, like, if ETH just wants to fucking if ETH BTC just wants to hold this little fucking level of demand here for once in its fucking life, we're good. Even if it rejects here, it needs to reclaim it. If it starts to reclaim this, ETH is going to be at $1,800 in a couple minutes. Maybe in the next hour if it starts to reclaim this. But it's at resistance, clearly. If we get this demand test on ETH, I think ETH outperforms BTC. So we would want to see a chop scenario for BTC for this to happen. But I'm keeping my eyes on these. I'm keeping all these drawings down just because I'm not going to be on for a minute. I want to see what happens next. Exploded. Total 2 just exploded for no reason at all, right? When fucking we wanted to look at it. It's great. Phenomenal. Okay, so now let me take a look at Ondo USDT. All right, guys, give me 3 coins. I'll speed run 3 of them. That's it. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. 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 I'll look at Popcat. I'll look at Popcat Render because I saw Render took some licks. I already looked at Fartcoin. Actually, we don't have levels for Fartcoin. That was my bad. I got level. Oh my god, Sol is fucking just wanted to take these highs out, of course. This is what I wanted yesterday. This is literally what I wanted last night, guys. I just wanted us to take those highs out. I think we're just gonna take the highs out and go back down. So this is what I'm looking for on Sol. I can almost see a reaction like this happening in the next hour. If this actually happens, might give you a good reason to short. We also took these highs already, printed that SFP on the daily. So yeah, but the daily starts to look good already. This is a big candle printing on the daily. It's risky shorting into daily candles like this. I would be careful, but like, man, if we go to 156, 154, might be a good level to hedge up on Sol there. Also, BTCD, I want to take a quick look at this. So the weekly swept the high, a big high too that we had from a while back. February. Holy shit. So we took that high out. Was it today? A couple days ago. And it wasn't even really on a 1 day sweep. This was a closure above. So we're chopping for now on BTD. It's giving room for alts here. It is giving room for alts, but this is too tight. Too tight to say. Too tight to say what's going to happen right now, especially when it's up. You want to see what happens on the weekly close for BTD before you start to see something. Before you start to see confidence. Oh my God. Sui went right to 332, guys. Holy shit. I'm disgusted with our performance here on stream, guys. Holy shit. Wow. Impressive move. All right, so for Soul, I guess scalp levels 148.7. For Sui, the scalp level is 304.20. The big level, if we get 88s, should be like 185, 184, we'll call it. Soul 184.7 is a scalp. Invalidation would be below the low if you're looking to play that. 143.52 is my bigger level. That would be your invalidation, like 136. So look to DCA that maybe like 140s. Hopefully we get it. This is just a very bullish reaction here. And I'm not asked if I miss this move either, guys. Don't be mad. Don't be sad. So now I got plans for mostly everything. ETH, I already have my limit, so I'm not gonna re-explain that. Put the Ondo charts as requested. I'm super OCD with the way. Another piece of advice I got for you guys: put multiple charts of the same chart on your screens. Have one you scribble and you make some plans on or whatever, and then have others that you keep clean. I'm pretty pissed we didn't long Sui there. That makes me kind of sick. Ondo's going super bullish. I'd assume has something to do with Trump. I know Trump was accumulating Ondo. Um, I don't know if he purchased some recently. I don't know what. We are at significant low end for Ondo as well. So if you were bullish on Ondo higher up, this is not a bad spot to be bullish again. It wouldn't be a bad spot at all. That low to retake. We just broke. We just broke resistance. So you'd want to see it flip. Obviously, this $1 level, 97.92, let's call it. Have yet to even get a four. This is the 4 hour, guys. Don't ape a 4 hour. It looks like this. It's a fucking phenomenal 4 hour. Holy shit. What happened with Ondo, guys? Any news? Ah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Sui, try a short at 336, bro. I wouldn't try it. 330. Look how that closure, man. It closed right above 326. Uh, my reaction was a little higher. I said around 334, 336. It hit 334, but not 336. So you can definitely see a rejection from here. Ondo is just super bullish, guys. I don't know where to enter here. You missed an entry here clearly with this beautiful pileup of demand right above. People were bidding this level, so you'd have to imagine if we are going to get a good retest, this should go to 108 from here. So is it off 97.92 to move back to 108, or is it a sweep back to 95? So for Ondo, we could say Ondo 97.92 is aggressive. Let's just say a bid down from 97.92 to 95.87. You could try that if you're feeling frisky. I'm not trying it, but I'm writing it down. I would look to bid that. If you do think we're going to push up to 108 and we don't do it yet, and you get this, do that for a 10% move. I think this is a good risk to return. You put your invalidation maybe below the daily open. You're risking, yeah. I like this risk for a play, like for a coin that looks like this. The only problem I have is the 4 hour just looks so explosive that it's like it's risky either way you look at it. Look at that 4 hour. I mean, it has 40 minutes to close as well. So is it gonna retest this level before going higher? I don't know. It would need to close like about like around here and then reject and then go back up because you'd want to see this 4 hour close. You don't want to see this 4 hour get halfway here with 40 minutes to left. With 40 minutes to go, it hasn't closed over here. That would just invalidate it. That makes me not want to place a limit for this entry. Makes you just want to look at a reaction. So again, limit set or alert set. See what happens there. Take a look at. I'm still holding my own chain bags, bro. I'm not holding all of them. I went over what I'm holding, what I'm not. I'm holding desync, pinlink, some hash at AI still, sadly. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I want to flip all my OXO, but I'm still holding a little bit. I'm still holding my whole bag of OXO. I went from 20K to a quarter million 3 different times on OXO, and I round tripped every single one. Um, XMW, I'm out. Fuck that coin. Even though I think it's good. Um, anyone, I think I sold all of that for a loss. Yeah, but I'm holding still a good amount. But I hold a good amount with what I am holding. Like Desync, Pinlink, I'm holding big bags for those ones still. Nokito, really just I'm thinking we chop around for BTC, giving alt some time to move here. But I want to evaluate some things right here. We're testing daily open on total two. We've already tested the daily open on a few things. Sui's having a gigantic move, so a lot of the movement is having to do with Ando and Sui. I appreciate you guys putting me onto Ando today. Guys, I want to do fuck, I took much more time off DB. I feel bad. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off. I feel bad. We made some plans. I'm gonna post them in my corner for the levels that I posted. I'm gonna be on later for a recap stream of the levels we did today. I appreciate everyone coming on this last minute stream. I think this was a good turnaround as well. 100 people came in. I appreciate you guys. You guys are. I love you guys. If I could kiss every single one of you, I wouldn't, but I would definitely give you guys a firm handshake. Every single one of you, except for you, Mel. I would kiss you. You're my dog. Oh wait, let me see what the level is saying. One second, one second, one second. We forgot one thing. We forgot one thing. Forgot one thing. Forgot one thing. So the indicator I'm building up right here, guys. That I haven't built up for a while. I wanted to show you guys the 1 day levels on BTC that I never did. On a cleaner chart. This is a clean chart to look. So these 1 day levels, screenshot it. It means something. These are very good levels. I've been testing these back for a year and a half plus. Big Dillo is here to help you guys out. If you guys have any questions on these levels, you could ask Native and Dilio. This is not released yet. It will be released soon. Give it some time. People in Wealth Group are gonna get obviously you guys, my main supporters, are gonna get significant privileges. But I do have to, you know, anticipate the rollout with how I want to do it. I'm trying to formulate a strategy around the indicator first before I give you guys the indicator. I have RSIs included, OBVs included, divergences included, SFPs are included. So let's say we punch into a weekly level here. Let's say we 88.752 is the weekly level that we want to reclaim. This is where we want to bid. If price, let's say we close this weekly in the next 3 days at around 81.225. We retest 88.752 on the open. That's a fucking long and a half. That's a long. Even on the 1 day, 92.5 is the level we want to flip. We retested that level. That's a long. Put your stop break even. Right? On the 4 hour, there should be a level slightly above. See how it starts to get a lot more levels? That's what I'm saying. Not yet ready to release, but we're at 4 hour resistance. The next logical level is that level that liquidity is lying at, which is like that 94.9 level. All right. So these levels all mean something. And you just got to make it make sense for you. But that's why I'm trying to compile a strategy up for you guys so that it makes sense and you guys could follow a strategy before I even put it out there. But for now, you could take a screenshot onto the higher time frame levels. I'll let you take a second to do that on the 1 day. Actually, I'm going to do you one better and post it up here. And you see where my previous like area of supply is? This 88.2 level? It's a no-brainer bid in my opinion. Any retest here is a no-brainer bid. Absolute no-brainer bid. And that's where I'll be entertaining my bids at. So I'm gonna leave that on the chart as well. Let me put this in chat ski for you guys. Again, keep eyes onto Aztecs. I actually really like this. I keep this on a different window. Damn. Okay. All right, whatever. It's not letting me. But either way, I like this. Make sure you keep track of this little thing right here. I use that a lot as well when we're in uptrends. Whenever I don't catch a low, catch a deviation, play upwards. This goes well with like, oh man, I didn't even look at that while I was trading Sol, but it would have been nice to have that as a reference. When I was trading the other day, when I was on vacation. All right, see, that's where it gets too overwhelming. This is exactly what that play is. I mean, play by play, like easy peasy. We deviate the lows. We didn't test support. We pushed down, created this higher low. This was a no-brainer long all day, any way you look at it. And you could see just how beautiful it is, like in relative to that setup. Keep an eye on to that setup, guys. I think you guys can make a lot of money looking at that setup. I know I have. And that is pretty much it. Pretty much it. I am gonna post that here for you guys so you have it in the chat. So keep track of these levels. I like the 1 days. What I would do if I was you guys, I would take that chart, put 1 day levels on your chart at those exact price points. 88.2, 83.6, 92.5, 99.55, 83.60, nothing much more than that. Keep these as your support resistance level. These are very good levels. These are high convicted levels. I back tested for a year and a half. Like I said, Pocky, my boy, how you doing, bro? Where's your voice at, dog? Keep those levels, guys. I really like them. And we'll be back I'll be back in a couple of hours. I'll let you guys know when I'm on my way home later, and we'll hop on a stream, recap a little bit. I'll post some of these plans for you guys in my corner. And then we'll go from there. Have a good day, guys. I appreciate you guys coming out. No problem, Marina. Anytime. Anytime. I got you. Welcome to the group, anybody that's new as well. I see some names. Peace Schnobs. You've been here for a minute. Anybody that's new, good to see you guys. Peace.